What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so we are going to continue our coverage over Earth 1 comics. And matter of fact, a year ago, I think it was a year ago, we covered Earth 1 Batman, Volume 1, but I never covered Volume 2 nor 3. And I want to kind of do all the different Earth 1 books that includes Wonder Woman and Green Lantern because we already did all of Superman and we did all of Teen Titans as well. So why not do the rest of the Earth 1 books? Now, with that being said, though, you have to remember that when it comes to Earth 1 comics, it does take place in a alternate universe away from the main DC universe. It was a way to kind of retell the origin of characters we all love so much, but to also give writers more freedom to tell the origins of these characters in this new universe. And so when it comes to Earth 1 Batman, he's really more grounded. And think about the Batman movie that came out back in 2021 or 22? Either way, though, that movie right there really showed a Batman who's really more grounded. He's still trying to learn how to be a Batman character. And so when it comes to Earth 1 Batman, it's literally the same thing. It's Batman still trying to learn how to be Batman. Even though this is Volume 2, he still has a lot to go through. And so you're going to see as he takes on a new villain, how much he still has to learn to make sure that he can be a great hero for the city of Gotham. And so the first section is really used as a way to kind of tell us who is going to be the main bad guy of this volume. The last one was the Penguin. And so the question is, who is going to be the bad guy for this one? Now, with that being said, we actually do pick up with a group of people right now just riding the elevator to their floor they're trying to go to. The problem is, though, as the elevator is going up, it's not stopping. It's skipping over different floors that these people had selected to get off on. And so they're wondering what in the world is going on. But then the elevator does reach the top level and it stops, but the door does not open up. And so they're wondering what in the world is going on. And so that is the moment they kind of find out that basically this is a trap, because then you have some guy begin to talk to them. Now, of course, right off the bat, we kind of find out the main bad guy is going to be the Riddler, because you do have this mysterious man who is basically the Riddler giving these characters a riddle to answer. And if they answer it correctly, of course, they'll basically be able to get off the elevator. The problem is, though, they answer it wrong. And so when they do answer it wrong, the elevator drops. It drops 40 floors to the ground, killing everybody in that elevator. And it's kind of like, why would the Riddler do that? Why would he attack these group of people just like that? Because right now, it seems to us that these people that he is killing off are just a regular group of people. Now, the next section is really used as a way to kind of show us what kind of Batman we have right now. And what I mean by that is, like I said earlier, when it comes to Earth 1 comics, especially for Batman, it was a way for writers to do something different with the characters. And so for Jeff Johns and Batman, it was really more of, let's make Batman more grounded and watch him slowly become the Batman we all know and love. And so right now in Volume 2, we see Batman trying to chase after a group of thugs. But the problem is, though, usually when we see Batman going after some regular level thugs, he's able to take these thugs out so easily. But this is a Batman who's still trying to learn how to be a Batman. And so while he's chasing after these thugs, some of his moves are effective and some are not. And so some of the thugs are captured, but the other thugs actually do get away. That even includes when he's trying to chase them down in a car chase, because this shows that he does not have all the gear that most Batman across the multiverse have, like a Batmobile. Without the Batmobile, he's not able to actually chase down thugs in a car chase. He tries in his own car, but he crashes the car because he's not equipped enough to basically drive in Gotham like he needs to basically be able to chase down thugs in a car chase. And so you do have him crash the car, and you have Alfred tell him you need to come back home. Like, go ahead and come back home. You basically halfway failed. You were able to get some of the thugs, but not all of them. The cops can do the rest. Now, here's the thing though. You do have Alfred and Batman here kind of tell us that every time Batman does capture a group of thugs, by the next day, they're back out in the streets because Harvey Dent and his sister are basically kind of releasing thugs if they have been caught by Batman. But then we pick up with Lucius Fox. Now, Lucius Fox is really kind of like his counterpart in the main DC universe, meaning that yes, he does work for Wayne Enterprises. Yes, he does make the equipment that Batman basically used out in the field. The only difference is that, or really a couple of differences, is that one, this Lucius Fox is very young from his counterpart. On top of that, Lucius Fox has an actual team who is basically making all the different equipment that Batman actually uses. Now, his team has no idea that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but basically this team makes the equipment for Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne tells Lucius, hey man, I need this and that. And Lucius tells his team, hey, Bruce Wayne is doing this crazy thing and he needs this kind of equipment to basically be made for him so that he'll be able to complete the different hobbies that he's trying to do. And so anytime they need some kind of equipment for Batman, for the scientists on Lucius' team, it's just another hobby that Bruce Wayne is doing, not realizing that he's out there being Batman with the equipment they have made. Now, the next section is really used as a way to kind of introduce Harvey Dent. And the reason why I say that because we actually pick up with a character known as Maroni, who's right now on trial for the crimes he has committed. Now, Maroni is not as big as he is in the main DC universe. And really, Maroni is actually a thug who worked for the last bad guy back in Volume 1, which would be the Penguin. The Penguin was the main bad guy in Volume 1. He was the mayor, but on top of that, he was the kingpin of Gotham. So think of Wilson Fisk over in Spider-Man comics where he was the kingpin and he ran every kind of crime across the entire New York City. Well, that was Penguin. He basically ran everything across Gotham, but pretended to be somebody who cared for Gotham by being the mayor. Now, with that being said, Maroni was one of the thugs who worked for the Penguin, and right now, he's basically going to jail because Harvey Dent, who's right now being introduced to us, has enough evidence to get rid of Maroni. And so just like that, Maroni is going to jail, but Maroni is plotting to get his revenge against Harvey for putting him in jail. But then we pick up with Detective Bullock. Now remember, in this universe right here, Detective Bullock was a cop who just came into Gotham, but when he came into Gotham, he was a cop who had high hopes for Gotham. He really believed that Gotham has a chance to have a bright future because where he came from, everything was a-okay for being a cop. On top of that, he was part of a reality TV show. And so with that being said, when he came over to Gotham, he was kind of like, oh, it's going to be great here. Everything is going to be okay. Gotham is going to have a bright future, but to only find out that basically Gotham is corrupt. And you have a lot of corruption happening across Gotham, including the police department. And so in Volume 1, as we went through that story right there, Harvey Dent learned the hard lesson about Gotham to the point that now he goes to the bars every morning and just starts drinking left and right, becoming an alcoholic. Now, of course, he is the partner of Commissioner Gordon because in this universe, Gordon is just a regular detective. He is not commissioner, captain, nothing at all yet. And on top of that, At first, Gordon was somewhat corrupted only because he was afraid to do anything at all because his daughter could be hurt or killed off if he does try to be an actual good cop. And that shows how much corruption was in Gotham, especially with the Penguin being the mayor of the city. Either way, though, when Gordon finds Detective Bullock, yes, Bullock is drinking again, but he's going after a particular person because what that person has done recently. And that character is Damon Druce. Is it Damon Druce? I want to say it's Damon Druce. Either way, though, when it comes to Damon, he is a thug in Gotham City. Now, of course, he was sent to go to jail, but he was released by Harvey Dent. Now, the reason why, because he's basically is an informant for Harvey Dent, meaning that if Harvey Dent needs some kind of information from this guy, Druce, well, Druce will give him that information, even though he is a thug and a very horrible man to his family. And the reason why I'm saying that, because even though Gordon and Bullock were told, leave Druce alone because he's basically an informant for Harvey Dent, for Bullock, he can't do that. And the reason why, because Druce had just abused his wife and child. And so for Bullock, he's like, listen, no, I don't care if he's helping us bring down the other crime lords in Gotham. What he did to his family is wrong. And so you have Harvey actually attack this guy, and it does lead into a fight between Harvey Dent and Gordon against Druce and his men at this bar. Now, after Gordon and Bullock are able to actually defeat those thugs, you then have Gordon wanting to tell Bullock how bad his drinking has gotten. And the reason why, because you do have Gordon telling Bullock that basically he needs to stop drinking. On top of that, he needs to realize that his drinking problem is affecting his job. Now, for Bullock, he's like, what do you mean? Because right now I'm off duty, meaning that it is okay for me to basically drink. But then you have Gordon grab Bullock, take him outside and show him the sun is out. It's basically Gordon saying, you have been drinking so much and getting drunk so much that you don't realize when time passed by. On top of that, right now, with time passing by so much, it's now the afternoon, whatever. Either way, you're on duty. I spent the last couple hours looking for you at every bar across Gotham to basically help you out. Because if our captain finds out that you're drinking on the job, you're going to lose your badge. And so you have Gordon put Bullock in the car and say, let's go because we're being called about a bunch of dead bodies right now. So let's go. Now, this next section is really more of reminding us we have a different kind of Alfred. And honestly, I kind of like the Alfred in this universe at first, but by each volume, he does kind of get a tad bit annoying to me in some kind of way. Either way, though, this is a Alfred who's really big on more of, yes, he's okay with Bruce Wayne being Batman, but he hates the idea of how Bruce Wayne is using Batman. He feels like Batman should be more aggressive or basically use different kinds of weapons to make sure that he's actually effective out in the street. And on top of that, Alfred was the one who kind of gave Bruce Wayne some training on how to be a good fighter or a good Batman out in the streets. Now, with all that being said, though, you do have Alfred and Bruce kind of wondering, why is Harvey Dent always trying to release people that Batman has captured for the GCPD? That right there is a very good question, but then the doorbell rings. And so with the doorbell ringing and Alfred being this somewhat of a butler, because honestly, Alfred is not really the butler for this Bruce Wayne in this universe. He's more kind of like the adoptive father to Bruce Wayne in this universe, but he's playing the butler role to kind of just keep people off the mindset that Batman could be Bruce Wayne. But then we kind of find out who was ringing the doorbell, and we kind of find out it was Jessica Dent. Now remember, Jessica Dent is the twin sister to Harvey Dent in this universe. Now, usually when it comes to DC Comics, and I realize this, that when they have an alternate universe and they have a storyline in that alternate universe that involves Batman and Harvey Dent, they usually have the Harvey Dent in that universe have some kind of random relative being made for that storyline, and they usually become the Two-Face in that alternate universe, not Harvey Dent. Either way, though, we actually pick up with Jessica Dent right now coming to Bruce Wayne asking for help. Now, we also learn that she is the mayor of Gotham City because after the Penguin had died, basically she moved in as the mayor of the city. Because remember, the Penguin was killed off by Alfred back in Volume 1 because Alfred killed off the Penguin to save Batman's life. Now, with all that being said, she moved into the mayor role to hopefully get rid of all the corruption in Gotham City. But we do learn that her, Harvey, and also Bruce had grew up together. Now, at first, they were all friends. But the problem was, though, after the Waynes and the Dents had died, the parents, everything changed. Even when you had Bruce dating Jessica, Harvey began to hate Bruce Wayne. He always hated Bruce Wayne. Now, we're going to learn why he always hated Bruce Wayne, but for now, it's kind of like, hey, listen, it's nice to see you again. Question though, does your brother still hate me for like unknown reasons? Because I have no idea why he actually does hate me. I mean, really, Bruce Wayne knows why, but we don't know why. Either way, this is Jessica coming to Bruce Wayne asking for help. Like, hey, listen, I feel like with you being Bruce Wayne, the son of the Waynes, I feel like you can help out Gotham better than me and my brother can. But we could actually work together to help get rid of all the corruption in Gotham. Because right now, Gotham needs somebody to represent Gotham. And that's not us. It should be you. Because remember, before your parents died, they were going to save Gotham. And so it makes sense that you, their son, continue on their legacy and actually save Gotham. Now, the thing is, though, Bruce Wayne does not want to use his Bruce Wayne persona to help Gotham. Instead, he really wants to focus on just being Batman because he feels like Batman is going to actually work better than Bruce Wayne. Now, you do have Bruce say, well, listen, you already have Batman out there bringing hope to the city. But then you have Jessica say, he does not bring hope to this city. He brings fear to this city. And Gotham does not need fear, they need hope. And so Batman is not the actual answer to help Gotham. We need Bruce Wayne, me, my brother, to bring hope to this city. Either way, you have Bruce Wayne say no to her for helping her, and she basically leaves upset, but hoping that maybe something down the road is going to change Bruce Wayne's mind. Now, Jessica also told Bruce Wayne that there are 5 officials in Gotham City right now who are basically kind of keeping the Penguin's operations alive. Because remember, the Penguin was the kingpin of Gotham City. Even though he had this mayor role and pretending that he was a good person for Gotham, he was really more of a kingpin and using the power of the mayor to be a very powerful kingpin. Now, with that being said, she also told him about the idea that there are 5 officials right now in Gotham who are basically continuing the operations of the Penguin. And so with that information, you do have Bruce Wayne actually go and meet up with Commissioner Gordon. Sorry, just James Gordon. Because right now in this universe, he's not even commissioner at all. Either way, though, you do have Batman going to Gordon to basically ask for help, to figure out who are the 5 officials right now in Gotham who have basically taken over the Penguin's operations. Except when he does go meet up with Gordon, Gordon's right now looking over the crime scene of the elevator scene we saw at the very beginning of this book. And so with that, he's kind of like, listen, It's all cool that you helped me out last time. It's all cool you're trying to help Gotham be better, but be careful as you walk around my crime scene because there's almost evidence anywhere in this crime scene that could actually help us figure out who is behind this whole thing right here. Because what is happening right now is that it's Jeff Johns saying, listen, Bruce Wayne is trying to be a great Batman. But the thing is, though, what makes a great Batman, or one of the things that makes Batman so great, is that he is the greatest detective in the entire world back in the main DC universe. And so right now, in this universe, he has no detective skills. And so this is Batman beginning the process of trying to become friends with Gordon so that he'll be able to learn how to be a better detective. And so right now it's Gordon and Batman saying that they're going to work together to figure out who was behind the elevator scene we saw at the very beginning of this book, but also who are the five officials who are basically corrupted and still continuing the Penguin's operations. Now, you do have Batman and Gordon see a question mark, which is another example that we're going to have the Riddler as the main bad guy for this book. Now, after that, you do have Gordon and Bullock actually get into their police car and they do head over to the GCPD building. Now, as soon as they arrive, they are confronted by other police officers who are there to tell them, that, hey, the captain wants to talk to you guys. Oh, by the way, you do have a special guest. And of course, that special guest is Harvey Dent. Now, this section right here really shows what kind of person Harvey Dent actually is. And what I mean by that is you have Harvey Dent being more of a huge jerk, because as soon as Gordon and also Bullock walk into their captain's office, you have Dent going off. Because remember, Harvey Dent is the DA, the district attorney in this alternate universe as well, and he's trying to get rid of corruption in Gotham, but at the same time, he is a huge jerk because he's very upset with Gordon and Bullock for what they did earlier at the bar. Because remember, Bullock went after a guy named Druce because Druce is an informant for Harvey Dent, but Druce is also an abusive person to his family. He beats his wife and children. And so Bullock did not like that, and Bullock and Gordon attacked him at the bar. Now, this is Dent saying, why would you do that? He is my informant. And I told you guys last week, all of GCPD, to leave Druce alone because I'm trying to use Druce to bring down other bad people in Gotham. I can't do that if you guys go around, beat him up, and then basically arrest him. Leave him alone. But the way Dent is talking to Gordon and also to Bullock, you can see that this is a Harvey Dent who's really more of a hard you-know-what, and everybody is going to end up hating this guy by the end of the story. While all those different things is going on, we do see the Riddler getting ready to do another attack on Gotham City. Like, he's basically painting his question mark on the box. He's getting ready to go after somebody in Gotham City. The question is, though, who? Now, we actually do see Bruce Wayne going to meet up with Jessica Dent. Now, this is not really Bruce Wayne saying that he's going to basically help her out by being a symbol for Gotham City or being that person to bring hope to Gotham City. It's really more of him trying to have another conversation with her to hopefully gather some information on who are the five officials right now in Gotham who's basically keeping corruption in Gotham going. And so he's kind of like, listen, the only reason why I'm doing this is to gather more information and then share that information over to Gordon so that we'll be able to actually bring down those five people who are corrupted and keeping corruption in Gotham. Now, as soon as he arrives and he does talk to Jessica, at first it does seem like she's trying to be like, oh my God, maybe he's going to actually be the help we need for Gotham, be the symbol of hope. But then she realized that he's only here for information. Now, as the two characters are talking, you have Harvey Dent walk in. Now, remember what I said earlier. Harvey Dent does not like Bruce Wayne at all. Like, Harvey Dent really does hate Bruce Wayne. And we come to find out that it all ties into Bruce Wayne's mother, Martha, because we see in a quick flashback that apparently Martha's family is known as the Crazy Family, the Arkham family. And that will be explored more in the next volume. But the only thing we know right now is that Harvey hates Bruce Wayne because he is technically an Arkham, because Martha family, the Arkhams, were a bunch of crazy people. But this is Harvey Dent right now saying, you know what? Putting our past to the side, my sister trusts you, and so I didn't trust you. And which means that I'm going to share you information to hopefully give you an idea that basically we have a system built to hopefully help us find the 5 corrupt officials in Gotham City. But then we pick up with the next attack being done by the Riddler, because we do actually pick up with a set of people right now going to a art exhibit to basically look at different art pieces that was done by different people across Gotham. Now, while you have these people actually enjoying the different artwork done in this art museum, well, that is also the moment you have the Riddler painting appear. Now, when it does appear, you have everybody walk over to it like, what is this? What is this all about? What does this actually mean? This seems very interesting. But that is the moment you have the Riddler shut the entire building down, locking everybody inside. And he's kind of like, okay, it's time for your riddle. Now, here's your riddle, and basically try to figure it out before your time is up. Now, of course, you have people panic first before they're actually able to answer the riddle. Because right now, you're talking about the idea that all these doors just got shut down and locked them inside. On top of that, the sprinklers came on, but it's not water, it's gasoline. And so right now, you have everybody kind of like, yo, what's happening right now? How in the world do we get out of here? Why is this guy doing this to us? But of course, then they realize, hey, we have to answer the riddle to basically get out of here. And so when one guy tries to, he's like, hey, tell us the riddle one more time. You have the Riddler like, nope, time is up. Because you guys use most of your time to basically panic. Well, your time ran out. So goodbye. And the entire place blows up. And with something like this happening, of course, you have the mayor and the DA, the Dent twins, hear about this. The GCPD, they also hear about this. Now, Bruce Wayne and Alfred, they only heard about this because they were in the office of Jessica Dent, along with her brother Harvey Dent. And so you have everybody just running over to the location where the bomb went off. And when they get there, the Riddler did again. He left a question mark, except this question mark was left in flames. And so right now, it's everybody wondering, who is doing this? And why is he doing this? Why is he attacking Gotham like this? Now, as soon as Bruce Wayne and Alfred arrive, you have Batman kind of like, I need to change. I need to change into my Batman suit because I'm pretty sure the guy who did this is probably still nearby. And so I need to change into my outfit to basically go after that guy to hopefully stop him. Now, you do have Bruce tell Alfred to tell Jessica and Harvey some made up story where, of course, this does have Harvey once again hate Bruce Wayne because right now there's trouble and Bruce Wayne is nowhere to be found, but they don't know that he is Batman. Either way, though, Batman is right. Whoever did this right here was nearby. The Riddler is nearby because he wanted to watch this, but to also be close enough to make sure that he'll be able to talk to the people who were trapped inside his trap, but to also make sure the bomb goes off. Either way, you do have Batman being Batman and trying to chase after the Riddler. The problem is, though, like I said a lot of times throughout this video, this is a Batman who's more grounded. This is a Batman who's still learning how to be an effective Batman. And so while he's chasing down the Riddler, he actually does lose the Riddler, to the point that the Riddler is actually able to come behind him, hit him in the head with a shovel, which of course does seem Bruce Wayne flying out the window and crashing into someone's balcony. And so we're now left to believe that he's knocked out on someone's balcony, and whoever owns that balcony could possibly unmask Batman and find out that he is Bruce Wayne. Now, right after he was knocked out by a shovel and landed in someone's balcony, well, that is the moment he does wake up shirtless, but all his injuries have been basically patched up or stitched up by some random woman. Now, this woman is actually going to be very important at the end of this volume, but more important in volume 3. Either way, though, once he does wake up, she does walk in, see that basically he has woken up and realized that he has been stitched up. She's kind of like, listen, you crashed on my balcony. I realized that you needed some kind of help, and so I basically helped out. But I left the mask on because I did not want to know who you were. Now, after that, she does say, hey, by the way, you did break a few of my pots, and you're also kind of attractive. Either way, you do have Batman kind of shut down any idea she had of messing around with him. And on top of that, hands her some money and say, buy yourself some new flower pots that I broke when I crashed here earlier, but I have to leave. Now, once Batman is able to actually make it back to his house, you do have Batman meet up with Alfred, and Alfred goes back and reworks some of the stitches that were basically done on Batman by our mysterious woman. Now, with that being said, though, you do have Alfred kind of get upset with Bruce Wayne when he says that he's going to meet up with James Gordon. And the reason why, because to Alfred, when it comes to being Batman, you should have nobody else basically having some kind of connection with you or working with other people except people who are very close to you, which is right now just Alfred. And so this is Alfred kind of like, no, you need to stop working with Commissioner Gordon. But on top of that, you need to wear some more body armor to basically protect you from different things like this right here. Yes, you were hit in the head. And yes, you fell down a few floors and landed in someone's balcony, but your body would have been better off if you had worn some kind of body armor. Either way, though, this is really more of Alfred kind of upset, or we can kind of see he's a tad bit upset with the idea of Bruce Wayne working but with James Gordon. But then we jump over to the Dent twins. Now, when we do, we actually do see Harvey Dent very upset that Bruce Wayne had basically left when everybody had arrived at the scene of the last crime, the last bombing. Because to Harvey, he never trusted Bruce. And even though his sister Jessica does, and she feels like Bruce is a great man, Harvey was going to try his best to give Bruce Wayne a chance to actually show that he's better now than what he was to Harvey in the past. But of course, with Bruce leaving and going to be Batman, is Harvey saying we can't trust him, and anytime troubles pops off, he's nowhere to basically be found. Now, while you have the twins arguing about the idea of trusting Bruce Wayne, that is the moment they do get a package. And of course, the package came from the Riddler. Now, the next page, we do see basically James Gordon and Batman meeting up. And when they do meet up, of course, this is Batman coming to James, hoping that he was able to get some fingerprints on some of the things that Batman was able to grab once he was chasing down the Riddler earlier after the second bombing incident. And you have basically James say that when it comes to this recorder or this device that the Riddler had basically used, he was unable to get really anything off of it except one thing. There was some sewage residue left on the device. And so with that, it does tell Bruce and also James that if this is the Riddler going around using this device as well, and it has sewage residue on it, that means that he's possibly working somewhere out of the sewers. And so you now have Batman going into the sewers. Now, as soon as Batman decides to go into the sewers, that is the moment you do have James basically tell Bruce to be careful, or tell Batman, sorry, to be careful, because when it comes to the sewers, it's basically a maze down there. And the reason why, because it was made by one of the Arkhams, one of Martha Wayne's ancestors, and he basically made it a maze as a way to kind of make sure the demons who are trapped down there stay down there. And so he made sure the sewers are basically this huge maze underneath Gotham City. But then we jump over to Jessica Dent, who's right now going over to Wayne Manor. Now, the reason why she's doing that, because she was hoping to basically meet up with Bruce Wayne to tell him or talk to him about the idea that she had just received a package from somebody, of course, the Riddler, who's trying to kill her. But of course, when she arrives at Wayne Manor, he's not there. And on top of that, it's Alfred kind of like, why in the world would you open that? Because basically it's him telling you guys he's coming after you guys next. Like, why in the world did you open this package? But getting back over to Bruce Wayne, who's being Batman right now, he does go into the sewers. Now, even though the sewers are a huge maze that's underneath Gotham City, he does have a map to kind of help him navigate his way through this maze. Now, the problem is, though, this maze or this sewer system was made many, many, many years ago. And of course, because this was made so long ago, it was never truly completely mapped out because how crazy it is. And so with that, Batman's phone is doing the best it can to kind of navigate him through the sewers. But that is the moment he does run into Killer Croc. Now, usually I keep saying Krilla. Killer Croc is usually a bad guy in most DC comics, but in this case, he's not. Instead, he's more of a guy who just wants to be left alone. And the reason why, because of his skin disease. Now, this is still Waylon Jones, but getting back over to his skin disease though, basically in the main DC universe, in this one as well, and I forgot the name of the disease he has, but basically his skin does turn into, or makes him look like he is a crocodile-like person. Now in this universe, his origin is a tad bit different, because with his skin disease basically making him look like a crocodile, his mom gave him away to a circus. Now, when his mom did that, he joined a circus that actually in the main DC universe would have Dick Grayson and his parents part of, which was Haley's Circus. But that right there is honestly not that important. But really, when it came to Haley's Circus, they actually made sure that Killer Croc had the teeth to actually look like a Killer Croc. And so those teeth were basically forced into his mouth and they're stuck there. And so when it comes to Killer Croc, he's kind of like, I had a horrible upbringing. Because of my skin problem, because of the circus, I really do look like a crocodile. And every time I try to get some kind of help, food or whatever, people are scared of me, want to shoot me, stab me, hurt me, whatever. But nobody actually wants to help me. And so you have Batman kind of like, you know what? I can kind of understand what this guy is actually going through. And so this is Batman really saying, hey, you know what? I'm not going to judge you, but I need your help. The guy I'm after right now is working out of somewhere here in the sewers. Can you help me? And you have Killer Croc say, yes, I can help you find out where this guy is actually staying at in the sewers so that you'll be able to actually capture him, because I actually know where his base is in the sewer system. And this right here really does begin a kind of a bond between Batman and Killer Croc, because Batman is not looking at Killer Croc as a monster, and this is Killer Croc realizing that not everybody is full of hatred and fear. You have some folks out there who give someone like Killer Croc a chance to actually be a normal person. Now, right after you have Killer Croc actually show Batman where he can find the base of the Riddler, you do have Batman break into the base of the Riddler, looking for the Riddler, but the problem is, though, the Riddler is not there. And so this is Batman kind of like, okay, so I found his base, where is he? Let me see if there's any kinds of clues that could actually help me to find the Riddler. The problem is, though, when he walks into the room, the Riddler knew that he was coming. The Riddler knew that he'll be inside his base sooner or later. And so this is the Riddler actually contacting Batman like, hey, bro, I saw you coming a mile away. I knew you'll find me sooner or later. And so I basically knew to abandon this place. But you may call me the Riddler, because what I do is ask folks these different kinds of riddles. Now, this is Batman realizing that when it comes to the Riddler, if he's talking to you, he has to be nearby you somewhere. And the reason why, because in the first two incidents, the elevator in the museum, he was nearby to make sure that he'll be able to talk to people, but to also make sure the bombs actually go off. And so this is Batman saying, you're nearby right now. Where are you? But then you have the Riddler blow up his whole computer tech stuff he had in his base. Now, of course, Batman does survive it, but he's kind of like, that's the first question you should have asked me if I was nearby. But now it's time for you to answer one of my riddles to hopefully save a ton of people lives. And so that is the moment you do have the Riddler basically tell Batman, hey, I have a riddle for you. And if you're able to actually save this riddle, you'll be able to save a lot of people's lives. Because right now, there is a train that's going through Gotham right now. And with this train going through Gotham, there is a bomb on that train. And so if you want to basically save the lives of those people on the train, you're going to have to actually stop the bomb or answer my riddle correctly. And so you do have Batman being able to get to the train that the Riddler is talking about. But here's the thing, though. It is the Riddler saying, if you want to save these people's lives, you have to answer my riddle correctly. And so the Riddler does give Batman the riddle. The problem is, though, when Batman actually answers the riddle correctly, the Riddler hates it. Because earlier we saw that nobody was actually able to answer the riddles of the Riddler correctly, and so he went ahead and killed them off. But when it comes to Batman, he's kind of like, no, I know the answer to your riddles. I'm going to answer it correctly. But the Riddler hates that. He met someone who's actually on his IQ level. But because the Batman answered the riddle correctly, and this shows a huge difference between the main DC universe Riddler and this universe Riddler, that when it comes to the main DC universe Riddler, if you answer the riddles correctly, he won't kill you. He'll just stop and give you another riddle. But because of this Riddler, he does not care even if you do answer the question correctly. And so, even though Batman does answer the riddle correctly, the Riddler still blows up the train, killing off a lot of people. Now, after that, you do have Batman meet up with James Gordon. Now, when he does, this is Batman telling James Gordon that he feels like a failure, but he hates the Riddler even more. And the reason why, because this is Batman saying, I answered his riddles correctly, and he still blew up that train. That right there shows that this man is a madman, because why would you even give someone the option to basically survive if they're able to solve your riddle correctly? That shows that basically, even though I did solve it correctly, you still planned on killing those people. And so this is Batman telling James Gordon, we have to find him. We have to find him now and basically stop him. Now, you do have Batman also show James Gordon a list of papers that he was able to get out of the base of the Riddler. And basically on this paper, it does have some names on there. And so this is Batman saying something about these names is going to help us to be able to understand the Riddler even more, to figure out what his master plan is. And so this is Batman leaving James Gordon to hopefully have James figure out what is the connection to these names to our mysterious bad guy, the Riddler. Now, as Batman leaves, he does hand Batman does hand James Gordon a phone, and his phone is kind of like a way to contact Batman. It has one button on there, and of course it's the bat symbol to call up Batman when James Gordon has figured out what is the connection between these names and of course the Riddler. But then we jump over to Alfred and Jessica Dent. And remember, she went to Wayne Manor looking for Bruce Wayne, but he was not there. And so she has to basically talk to Alfred. Now, of course, she does tell us what was inside the package that the Riddler has sent to her. And basically, inside that package was a note and a Batman figure, a Batman toy, where basically it's the Riddler telling Jessica, or possibly telling Jessica, you need to go ahead and arrest the Batman. Like, go ahead and arrest him because he is bad for Gotham. So why not go ahead and basically do that? And so it's right now Jessica saying that he wants me to arrest Batman, but also Alfred, I have an idea that basically Bruce Wayne is Alfred. Now, she does not tell Alfred she actually knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. But either way, though, you do have Jessica leave because she does hear about the latest bomb incident, of course, with the train blowing up. And so she leaves to go see what happened to those people on that train. But as soon as she leaves, Batman does appear in the room calling out to Alfred. And the reason why, because he was seriously injured thanks to the train blowing up. But when it came to the people on that train and also James Gordon, he just acted tough like nothing actually happened to him. But in reality, he was seriously injured after the bomb had basically went off. Either way, though, this is Bruce Wayne and Alfred talking about the idea of how messed up the Riddler is. But on top of that, this is Alfred telling Bruce, hey man, listen, I think Jessica knows that you are Batman. But on top of that, we kind of need to lay back on the idea of you being Batman so that she'll basically stop thinking that you are Batman. But this is Bruce saying, maybe I should tell her. Now for Alfred, that's a huge no-no, because why are you telling everybody in your supposed circle that you are Batman? Not everybody needs to know about your superhero identity, because sooner or later it is going to get them killed. So do not do that. But this is Bruce saying, if she can help us stop the Riddler, then I need to basically tell her. Now, on top of that, though, that is the moment you have James actually call up Batman saying, hey, man, listen, I figured out how those names are so important to one another, but could possibly be important for helping us catch the Riddler. And so you do have Bruce actually go and confront Jessica to basically tell her that he is Batman. Now, when it comes to Jessica, she already knew that he was Batman because earlier when they first met back up in the very beginning of this video, the way Bruce talked about Batman bringing hope to Gotham, she realized that he has to be Batman. And so this is her saying, yeah, I figured out you were Batman a long time ago, but why are you doing it? And so once again, it's Batman or Bruce Wayne telling her, listen, the reason why I'm Batman, I'm trying to bring hope to this city. That basically they have someone out there who's trying to save their lives, who's trying to make the city better. But for Jessica, she's kind of like, the only thing you really bring to this city is fear. How is that going to help a city like this like Gotham that has been scared for a very long time, and you add more fear into the system. Like, that is not actually going to help Gotham get better. Yes, you're scaring the bad guys, but you're also scaring the people of Gotham as well, Bruce. Now, with all that being said, though, that is the moment you have Batman say, listen, I figured out why our mysterious bad guy, the Riddler, has been going after these different places so randomly. Because in every single incident, there was someone there that he was plotting to kill. So on the elevator, there was someone there. In the museum, there was somebody there. On that train, there was somebody there that he was trying to kill off. And all three of those people were very important in some kind of way for Gotham. And so this is Batman or Bruce telling Jessica, I figured out, or really, I had help to figure out why he's doing all these different attacks. Because these people are very important to the city of Gotham in some kind of way. They're some kind of official. And so it seems like the Riddler is going after them for some unknown reason. Now, of course, he does tell Jessica that he was able to get all this information from James Gordon. But once you have Bruce basically tell her that, he also says that he realized that once the bombs go off, the person the Riddler kills, their money from their accounts are transferred out of their accounts into somebody else's account, to a company that owns the account, and the name of that company is Answer Inc. Now, of course, when they try to look up Answer Inc., it's not showing the Riddler's name, it's showing someone else's name. But then we jump forward between two different settings where basically you have one setting going on where it's Bruce Wayne with Jessica Dent. And of course, it's these two talking about the idea of Batman. Like, why does Bruce Wayne do what he does as Batman? Like, does he really think that he's helping Gotham out as Batman? But while the two characters are talking to one another, it does kind of lead into these two characters kind of end up kissing one another. Like, oh my God, I like you, you like me. Who cares? Either way, though, the other setting that's going on at the same time where you have Bruce Wayne and Jessica kind of making out is that you have James Gordon and Detective Bullock actually look into who is the owner of Answer Inc., the account that's holding all the different money from the different people who have died in the story so far. And then come to find out that the owner of Answer Inc.'s account is Bruce Wayne. Now we know it's not really Bruce Wayne, that this is the Riddler trying to use Bruce Wayne as a way to keep everybody distracted while the Riddler is able to do what he actually wants to do. But for right now, for James Gordon and also Detective Bullock, they're kind of like, he's our guy. Let's get a warrant for his arrest. And so they call up Harvey Dent. And when they tell Harvey what's happening, Harvey gets ticked off, because Harvey knows that his twin sister, Jessica, likes Bruce Wayne. And so you have Jessica right now with her, and Harvey's all like, no, not my sister falling in love with a criminal. I must go beat up Bruce Wayne. I knew he was a bad person. Now, James and Bullock, they go to Wayne Manor to get Bruce Wayne, but of course he's not there because he's with Jessica in her office right now. And so when they get there, they get Alfred. And you have Alfred like, what's happening right now? But basically, they tell Alfred, and you have Alfred try to fight the cops, which of course gets him arrested. But then with Bruce and Jessica, you have Harvey appear. He punches Bruce right in the face and tells the cops to arrest him. And you have Harvey tell Jessica, this is what's happening right now. He's the one behind all of this. Like, he's the one who's basically doing everything right now in Gotham. But then we see the Riddler basically say that now it's time for his one and final riddle, which means that with everything going as planned for him, he's ready to do what he always wanted to do. His big hoorah, his big bang for Gotham City. But getting over to the police department, we actually do pick up with Bruce Wayne right now seeing Alfred in a prison cell. Now, when he does see Alfred in this prison cell, he's kind of like, why are you? Oh, you fought the cops. Okay, well, that's a bad idea. Either way, though, you have Bruce tell Alfred, hey, man, listen. The reason why they're coming after you and me, really me, is because all the clues were basically pointed towards me as a way to kind of remove me from some kind of plan that the Riddler has for Gotham. Because it's Bruce saying the Riddler knew that Jessica came to him for help earlier. But on top of that, this is Alfred saying, or maybe the Riddler figured out that you're Batman. But of course, while you have the two guys talking, that is the moment you have Harvey Dent want to ask Bruce some questions like, I feel like you're the one behind all of this. And I knew you were because you're crazy like your mom and her family. Now, right when you have Harvey Dent wanting to actually believe that Bruce Wayne is the one behind all of this, that is the moment you have the power go off. And when the power goes off, that right there's the first clue that maybe Bruce Wayne is innocent. But when the Riddler begins to talk and basically tell everybody in the room, like, yes, I have everybody I want to hurt right now in one particular building, the GCPD. And so this is the Riddler telling Harvey, like, you got it wrong. Like, it's not Bruce Wayne. He's not the guy behind all of this. It's basically me. Now, of course, that is the moment you have the Riddler begin his master plan. And the first step in his plan is to release all the different prisoners who are being held in the GCPD out of their cells. And of course, it caused a riot in this building. Now, Bruce Wayne, he's able to leave just like that and dress into his Batman suit. Now, if you're wondering how in the world does Bruce Wayne have a Batman suit in the GCPD? Well, when James and Detective Bullock went to Wayne Manor, they did take some things. And of course, there was a case that was given to Bruce by Lucius Fox while he was gone. And so it was given to Alfred. But in that suit was a new Batman suit. And so basically that is how he was able to change into his Batman suit to basically fight against these thugs. Now, of course, we do get the classic Batman fighting in a prison, trying to stop all these thugs from getting away or causing more problems for Gotham or anybody else in the building. But as you have Jessica and Harvey trying to get away, the door they use, it does lead to a way out of the GCPD building. They do have the chance to basically get away. The problem is, though, as they're trying to get away, well, that leads into the section where we see Harvey Dent die, because Harvey Dent is stabbed behind by Maroni. And remember, Maroni was the guy who was basically getting locked up because of Harvey Dent, because Harvey was a great DA for Gotham City. And so this is Maroni getting payback by basically stabbing Harvey Dent. And then Harvey's face does get burned off by some kind of, I forgot the name of what they use in the storyline to burn his face off. But either way, his face does get burned off. And so when it does, we're left to believe that we are going to get Two-Face in this universe because, hey, there goes half his face is getting burned off, but we don't. Instead, what we get is the death of Harvey Dent. With the burning and him being stabbed, he dies in the arm of his sister and the arms of Batman as well. But here's the thing, though. Right after he dies, you have Jessica put her face next to his face, which is still actively burning. And of course, it burns her face as well. And so we now know that she is going to be the Two-Face of this universe. Now, with that being said, they still all have to leave the building because remember, when it comes to the Riddler, yes, he may release those prisoners, but 9 out of 10 times when he's trying to get his point across to people is by blowing the place up. And so he plans to blow up the GCPD. And what the Riddler did is that he put a bomb or a huge amount of explosives in a van that's owned by the GCPD. and Batman has to guess which van it is to basically, hopefully, save the day. Because if he finds the right van that the Riddler is hiding in, then he can stop the Riddler from basically pushing the button that is going to set the bombs off. The problem is, though, when Batman opens up one of the vans, of course, it is the wrong van, and the right van that has the Riddler inside of it is now getting away. Now, this does look like, hey, the Riddler, all he has to do now is just hit the button and blow the entire place up now, because Batman selected the wrong van and the Riddler is getting away. But what Batman did was he got in the van with the explosives and started driving near the Riddler. And he's kind of like, if you want to get away from me, you're going to have to drive faster, because if you hit that button and these bombs blow up, I'll die, yes, but you'll die with me. Because how much explosives you put in this van right here can blow up a huge area of Gotham, which means that you'll be caught in the explosion. And so this is the Riddler like, dang it, Batman got me again. And so you have Batman trying to chase down the Riddler while the Riddler is just trying to get far enough away from Batman to set the bombs off. But then you have Batman being able to crash into the Riddler, which means that now the two of them are going to have to fight hand to hand to see who is actually going to win. Now, once you have the Riddler basically tell Batman, like, hey, man, listen, you may have stopped me from getting away, but now I no longer care if the bombs actually do go off. Meaning that the Riddler is okay sacrificing himself to basically do more damage to Gotham. And so he's telling Batman, I'm about to hit the button to set the bombs off. The problem is, though, not really a problem, it's a good thing. But for Batman, he got lucky again, because when it seems like Batman is about to lose once again in one of his own stories, that is the moment you have Killer Croc appear. And when Killer Croc basically appears, you have Killer Croc being able to cut the back of the Riddler to make the Riddler kind of stumble a tad bit. Then you have Batman throw a batarang into the wrist of the Riddler to basically make him drop the bomb trigger. And so now Batman is able to take down the Riddler. Now, in the chaos of the fight between Killer Croc, the Riddler, and Batman, yes, Batman was able to stop the Riddler, but Killer Croc got shot. And the way this section does end, we're left to believe that there is a possibility that Killer Croc is actually dead. And so the last few sections are really used as a way to kind of wrap this story up, because the Riddler has been stopped by Batman and Killer Croc. And so we actually do jump over to the next section where, of course, we hear that Harvey Dent was basically buried because he did die earlier in the storyline. But also, we see that James Gordon has been promoted to captain, not commissioner, but captain, which means that there is a possibility that him and Bullock will no longer be partners. Now, it also looks like Bullock has gotten better with his drinking problem as well. Now, we do jump over to Bruce Wayne checking up on Jessica. Now, when he does, this is Jeff Johns really honestly setting up Jessica to become the Two-Face of this universe. And the reason why I say that, because you do have basically Bruce Wayne checking up on Jessica in the hospital, who was basically put there because, again, she put her face next to her dad's brother's burning face. And so she also got burned. And so with that being said, they're in the hospital, and when she wakes up from her temporary coma or whatever, she does talk to Bruce like she's Harvey. Like, basically, Harvey has somehow connected to her, like their minds are now one together. And this is Jeff Johns setting her up to become the Two-Face of this universe by like, oh, look at this. She's talking like her brother, but then she talks like herself. You see, this is Two-Face. There's two personalities. It's her brother and her. But for Bruce Wayne, he's very concerned for Jessica. Now, the next section really does show that Killer Croc did survive. And right now, Killer Croc is going to stay with Alfred and Bruce Wayne at Wayne Manor. And of course, when it comes to Killer Croc and Alfred, they do not get along right off the bat. It's one of those kind of like, they both want the best for Bruce Wayne, but they're also trying to be the best for Bruce Wayne as well. And so it's going to lead into these two characters basically butting heads a lot in the next volume. Now, the next section really does show that we should see or possibly see the Batmobile in Volume 3 because we actually jump over to Lucius Fox and his team. And remember, when it comes to Lucius Fox and his team in this universe, they really do work on trying to do the different equipment for Batman to use in the field. Now, Lucius Fox knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but when it comes to the rest of the team, they're kind of like, man, Bruce Wayne has some very weird hobbies, but hey, whatever, his car is done. What's next for us because we love his money. Now, when it comes to the last 2 pages of the story, it really does tease the idea of us getting Catwoman. And the reason why I say that because remember, earlier Bruce Wayne did crash on someone's balcony. And after doing that, because she did patch him up, he was going to send her flowers. Well, Alfred's kind of like, hey man, I tried to send flowers to that apartment, but when it got there, there was no lady there. It was just a guy. That guy has no girlfriend, no wives, but he did say he was out of town. And when he came back, well, everything was stolen. And so the last page shows us that was Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, which means that Volume 3 is going to have Catwoman in it. Either way, though, this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So with that being said, please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.